Today in history, August 25th, gives us life on the moon, flying monkeys, instant ramen noodles, the misunderstanding of Lauryn Hill, and the untimely death of Aaliyah. Let's talk about it. On this day in 1609, Galileo demonstrates his first telescope. He does this in Venice, in front of the Doge of Venice and Venetian lawmakers. Now, this telescope was made of wood and leather, and the magnification was about 8 times to about 21. On this day in 1835 was the Great Moon Hoax. So basically, the New York Sun decided to post their first article of a series of articles about life on the moon. So these were fictional stories. They were told about bizarre moon creatures and civilizations. And this became one of the most famous hoaxes in history. On this day in 1875, Matthew Webb swims across the English Channel. He's the first known person to swim across the English Channel. It took about 21 hours and 45 minutes. On this day in 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signs an act that creates the National Park Services. This is a new agency, and this agency is meant to protect national parks while also allowing people to enjoy them. You know these national parks as things like the Grand Canyon or Yellowstone. On this day in 1939, The Wizard of Oz premieres. That's the Flying Monkeys. Even though their budget came in around $2.7 million, and their return was about $3 million, by their lifetime after reopenings, they hit $22 million in revenue. On this day in 1944, Paris is liberated. Yes, after 4 years of occupation by the Nazis, the Americans and the French come through and liberate Paris. On this day in 1950, President Truman decides to take over the railroads. To prevent a strike, he has the military come in and take over the railroads. Now, this was because they were in the middle of the Korean War and transportation was vital. Today in 1958, instant noodles was made. Yes, your favorite snack, instant noodles. Momofuku Ano created the noodle ramen. Now, this was the first mass-produced instant ramen. He actually made it because his goal was to help with the shortage after post-war Japan. On this day in 1970, Elton John decides he wants to come to the United States for the first time to perform at the Troubadour in West Hollywood. On this day in 1981, NASA's Voyager 2 gets as close as it can get to Saturn. Now, it went to go take pictures and collect as much scientific evidence that it can on the planets and any moons. On this day in 1991, Miles Davis plays his last performance. On this day in 1998, The Misunderstanding of Lauryn Hill hits shelves. Yes, everybody knows that's a classic. This becomes the best album of the year, winning 5 Grammys that year. On this day, 2021, we lost Aaliyah, a great American singer and actress. She died at the age of 22 in a fatal plane crash. On this day in 2012, we also lost a legend, Neil Armstrong, one of the first man to walk on the moon. He died at the age of 82. So the question is, how are you making history?